Oh man.
Hunting turkeys can be very exciting. Hearing that tom gobble or interacting with them by calling to them and them responding, whew, that can get my blood boiling. And then if you tag a tom, you got fresh, healthy meat to take home and share with your family and friends. This week, I wish to share a really special hunt because it was Marc and Sharon, some friends of ours, first turkey hunt. Clay and I first met Marc and Sharon while assisting them with the habitat and hunting improvement plan for their farm near Detroit, Michigan. Part of the plan we developed for Marc and Sharon was to do some timber stand improvement, or TSI, and allow the sun's energy to reach the soil and stimulate the growth of native grasses and forage, providing high quality food and cover throughout their property. The plan also included food plots of various sizes and shapes, and they were designed not only to provide tons of high quality forage, but to help pattern deer. Either deer come to those plots to eat at the appropriate time of year, or going around them in certain locations when the deer are chasing acorns. Putting all this together, a lot more food and cover, and deer that are easier to pattern on their farm. Since then, Marc and I have stayed in touch as he had a few questions about implementing his habitat improvement plan. And during that time, we become friends, and I realized Marc had never been on a good turkey hunt. In fact, he'd never killed a tom. While Marc and I were talking about this, he mentioned it had been a cold, snowy winter in Detroit, and I told him we were headed to South Florida to chase toms at this great ranch. It's called the La Jamaica, where I'd hunted in the past and had a lot of success chasing toms and hogs. And it wasn't long until Marc and Sharon said, hey, we'd like to join you in South Florida for some of that heat and learn how to turkey hunt. As I've shared in the past, the turkey season in South Florida is the earliest opener of all the turkey seasons in the continental United States. The season in Hawaii opens a bit earlier. Another attraction to go to South Florida and chase turkeys is the subspecies there is Osceolas. And they're a pretty limited range, South, Central Florida. From there on up to Maine and out to about central Nebraska, Kansas, down through part of Texas. Well, those are eastern turkeys, and that's a larger subspecies. They're weigh on average a few more pounds than Osceolas. Being Marc and Sharon's first turkey hunt, they were super excited. And I don't know how many years I've been chasing turkeys, but I gotta tell you, I was just as excited the night before opening morning. As the first morning's light began to break, a gobbler rang out across the pasture, and in the hammock they were watching. Clay was hunting with Marc and Sharon, and he gave a few calls. The tom answered, and it sounded like it was just about 100 yards away or so. Clay got that tom fired up, and when he hit the ground, he kept gobbling.
Always close. He's on that side of the tree.
The primary purpose of a tom gobbling is to tell a hen his location. In the turkey world, toms gobble and hens go to him. In the hunting world, we're a hen trying to attract a tom to us. We're reversing that natural process. And that's what makes calling fun but challenging. If a tom's gobble attracts hens to him, well, he'll be quiet, and that can make hunting very challenging. This is why turkey hunters get up early and try to locate a tom on the roost. That way they can move in close and set up, hopefully attract the tom to them by calling before the hens get in there and distract the tom. Clay could tell by the gobbling the tom had hit the ground, but then he heard spitting and drumming and knew that tom was close.
He's close. I can hear him spitting.
Suddenly, Clay spotted that big white head and knew that tom was strutting over by a tree line.
There he is. He's on the road. See him out there.
The tom was gobbling and strutting on the road, trying to get the hen he heard, which is Clay, to come to him. Clay wisely held off calling, trying to get the tom to come back to the call. Unfortunately, that tom seemed to be drifting off a little bit, so Clay called again, trying to get him fired up and get that tom to respond to Clay's location. Clay's calling worked perfectly, and that tom turned around, started approaching them quickly.
Here he comes. He's coming in pretty quick. Look at him. Do you see him?
Notice the hens were following along behind the tom.
That's what we want, right, Clay?
Yeah, that's the one we want.
Okay. You got it.
The tom got closer than 20 yards to Marc and Sharon and put on a show. Finally, Marc's trigger finger couldn't take that tension any longer, and he sent a load of long-beard XR number 6s toward the tom.
I can. You ready? Oh, man.
Are you kidding me?
Holy cow, that was amazing. That was awesome. You see them all puffed out. Yeah. Couldn't figure out what to do with the decoys. Having not done this before, I don't know if that was textbook or not, but I'll tell you what, that happened exactly the way you said it was going to happen.
The tom dropped in his tracks, and within a few minutes of Marc's first turkey hunt, he had a nice Osceola in his hands.
It feels like hair.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yep. Yep, it is.
Very interesting. I'm going to start in the truck with Clay's 5-minute education explanation for me as a new turkey hunter. But Sharon and I swear that he dropped a note to the turkeys as well. We stood on the road, listened for a bit. I thought we heard him gobble once or twice, didn't we, when we were standing there?
Yeah.
And then we ducked off the side of the road and came up behind these trees and set up right here. And Clay was pretty quick about it. The bird got more and more vocal faster than we probably thought he was going to. And then you hit him with one call at one point, I think, that kind of changed the game, and he just came booking right in, straight in at the decoy, stopped once behind the brush pile there, and then continued in and started circling them, and it was amazing. I think he circled them at least twice, maybe 3 times trying to figure it out. And then you called the shot, and we put him down. But what an amazing morning. I mean, for a first-time turkey hunter, to have it come together that clean, that linear, was really, really amazing.
Congratulations, Marc and Sharon. I'm sure the memories of this hunt will live with y'all for a long time.
Growing Deer is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Also by Reconics, Winchester, Avian X Decoys, Lacrosse Footwear, Morel Targets, Fleet Outdoor Apparel, Summit Tree Stands, RTP Outdoors, Yamaha, Fourth Arrow, Onyx Hunt, Scorpion Venom Archery, Case IH Tractors, Blood Sport Arrows, Green Cover Seed, Burris Optics, Code Blue, Decode, G5 Broadheads, Prime Bows, and Redneck Hunting Blinds.
I'm super happy for Mark and Sharon, and I can tell they were so excited and talking about turkey hunting that I can't wait to hear about their hunts on their own farm in Michigan. The habitat improvement plan we designed for Mark and Sharon's property basically has the same goals as the habitat at the La Jamaica Ranch. For turkeys, the La Jamaica is a perfect example of quality habitat. Now, it's a large working cattle ranch, and there'd be small hammocks or almost what we call fence rows of timber and large pastures. And the pastures would be managed where cattle graze some really hard and other pastures are rested. So we've got nesting habitat, brooding habitat, open areas to strut, trees for turkeys to roost in. It's about ideal turkey habitat, and obviously the turkey hunting there is really good. Daniel, Clay, and I really enjoy helping folks design habitat so they can have quality hunts no matter where their property is located. High quality habitat almost always leads to lots of fun and productive hunts. And we had several more good hunts in South Florida, tagged a bunch of toms, and killed a bunch of hogs. We'll be sharing those hunts and the strategies we used soon. Going on hunts with friends is a great way to get outside and enjoy creation. But it's even more important to take time every day to be quiet and listen to what the Creator is saying to us. Thanks for watching Growing Deer.